So first off, I want to thank you guys all for hopping on. I know this has been a little bit late. We said we were going to do this a little bit earlier, but everyone's been in chaos. There's been so many calls going on, which has been awesome, but I did feel like I still needed to get on and do this. So some of you that may have been to some of the events we've done in Canada, we've brushed on a little bit of this, so you may be familiar with some of it. But for those that have been trying to get me to come somewhere, this is kind of what we would have done. So for those of you that, we had to cancel events, Edmonton, all the regionals are canceled. This is a good way for you guys to kind of get a little bit of how to get started. What do I need to do to get my distributor launched properly? And, just how to launch your own business as well. So first off, I'm going to just share my screen here. And this bar is always in my way. Just gonna move that down. So first, you guys, one of the most important things you need to know, and what I like to ask my brand new distributors is, what is your why? Your why has to be so important, and it needs to be deep. It needs to be something that when you get 100 no's in a month, when you've contacted 100 people and you get 100 no's and they say no to you, you need a why that's going to be strong enough to pick you up off the floor once you hit it and go, why? Why won't they say yes to me? And get yourself off the ground and say, you know what? I am not giving up. I am not giving up, and I'm not going to stop. You guys, I've had stages when I was growing in my business. I remember when I hit Pro 3. I hit Pro 3 in 1 month. It was crazy. I worked my little butt off. It's not so little now after quarantine. No, it's kidding. But and my husband's laughing because he's like, yeah, that's true. But I worked my butt off. And then you want to know what happened? I'm going to tell you honestly what happened. I had somebody come into my organization and was literally cross-recruiting people out of my organization. Thankfully, we stopped it and we were able to correct it in the time. But I'm going to tell you how I felt right at that moment. I felt like, oh my God, everything I've worked for is leaving, and there's nothing I'm going to be able to do. And oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I hit the floor like this sucks, right? I didn't have faith. I didn't have faith that the company, of course, would correct this. All I thought in my head was the world is out to get me, and that's just it, right? But then I had a mentor say to me, Lauralee, what is your why? Why do you keep going? And I told them why. And they're like, okay, so I need you to have faith. I need you to have faith in yourself, and I need you to have faith in your company. We're going to correct this. And they did, because they're an amazing company. Now that can't even happen now. They fixed that, so that can't even happen. So that's good to know. But your why, you guys, your why has to be, like Daniel Mullering always says, your why must make you cry, or Blue Elam says that as well. Your why should make you cry. And when you say, okay, well, my why is I want financial freedom. I want more money. I want more time freedom. But why do you want that? Why do you want more financial freedom? Why do you need more time? What in your life are you looking to achieve that requires that extra money, that requires that extra time? Could it be getting, for myself, I was working 4 jobs plus Life Manage. I didn't have time for my family. So my why was getting home, okay? My why was having enough money that I could stay home and raise my family. My why has changed now, obviously, because now I am home. So now my why is being able to provide my family with what they need. But now I also have a husband that's at work that I just want to bring him home as well. Because I'm going to be honest, it really sucks. And you guys know all about it when my daughter and I can pack up the trailer and go camping, but he can't because he has to work. It would be nice to have him home. And I know that's sometimes not reality, but the truth behind this whole network marketing thing is that kind of is our reality. Our reality is if you get in a company at the right time that has amazing product, great timing, great comp plan, great mentorship, which what we have, and you work your bones to the grind, like you get down and dirty and you work it, that is basically what can happen for you. So deep down believe, have faith, and have faith in yourself and know your why, okay? So just, I talked a little bit about that, but you guys, it's so, so important. I like this quote. There's no growth in your comfort zone, and there's no comfort in your growth zone. So if you're scared to do something, then do it. If something scares you, like if walking into that chicken coop scares the crap out of you because they're going to peck your eyeballs out, then I think you better go into that chicken coop. Do you get what I'm saying here? Like, if it scares you to turn your camera on right now on this Zoom, if it scares you to do that, I challenge you to do that. If it scares you to put it on, put it on. If it scares you to do a Facebook Live, I challenge you, if one of you are scared to do a Facebook Live today, I challenge you after this call to go do a Facebook Live. Okay? Whatever is scaring you, you need to step out of that comfort zone and do it. I know there are some distributors that are stuck. They're stuck at a spot in their business, but they're not willing to take that step. For example, some may be not willing to pick up the phone and call somebody. You know, if that might be the step you need to take. And it usually ends up being that when you do take that step, everything comes into place. I truly believe that God makes things a little bit challenging for us, and we have fear in our mind because we need to learn how to overcome that. And I believe that when we overcome that, we prove to the big guy upstairs that we're ready for the next step, because he'll never give us more than what we can handle, right? So just if you're scared of something, I want you guys to write down, if you're taking notes right now, write down what scares you. And then make it a goal to step out of that fear and step up to what scares you, okay? Mentorship and system, you guys, this is, you know, you can join many companies as you want, but if you don't have a system to follow that's simple and stupid proof, I like to call it, and mentorship, you can't, it just doesn't work that way. Like you can't, if you've never rode a horse and you don't have a system or steps on what you need to do to follow to be able to do that with somebody there to help you do it that's a professional, you're probably not going to be able to ever learn how to ride that horse. You need something. And I mean, even if it's watching videos online or something, you need a system and you need mentorship. I got involved with a group called Building Depth. I've been involved with them for over a year now, and I love their system. It's basically 15 presentations a month, attend the trainings, and commit yourself 2 to 5 years of doing it. Can you do that? Okay, drop a 1 in the comments if you guys think you can do that. Do that for me, please. Okay, now, do you think that this is a pretty easy system that if you bring on a new distributor, that you can say to them, look, this is what I need you to do. And we're going to go through some other things, of course, what they need to do. But mainly, I need you to be able to do 15 presentations at least a month, get on all the calls and trainings that you can and commit yourself 2 to 5 years to do that. Now you need to make sure they know that that doesn't mean they have to go out right away and do the presentations. You as that leader will be there for them. That 3-way call, that 3-way Zoom, or, you know, Building Death's been doing every single day opportunity calls. Those count as your presentations, inviting people to get them on there, okay? And it's the, you know, it's the truth. I remember Marcel was telling me this system. And I was like, I'm not doing 15 presentations a month. That's a lot. But then I realized it really wasn't. I mean, really, if you did one every day for 15 days or one every other day for a month, there you go. Presentation takes about 30 minutes to an hour. We can probably spare 15 hours in a month. I mean, a lot of us scroll on Facebook for that long or sit and watch a TV show for that long, right? But I wasn't convinced that that was the kind of the what you needed to do. You needed to do more until I started to do it. And then I started to see it come in. And I've watched people like Carrie. I've watched Carrie. She's hopped in here with both feet, and she went from not enrolling to getting the presentations out there, doing it. Still wasn't quite getting what she wanted to see. And then boom, it happened because she never quit and she never gave up. And to me, that was him upstairs saying, okay, now you're ready. Okay, cool. Stop focusing on the results and focus on the behaviors. This was huge for me, you guys, and I'm sure it's huge for a lot of you. Drop a 2 in the comments if you're one of those people that go onto your website every single day to see what your numbers are. And if they're, do you go do that? Does anybody do that? Drop a 3 in the comments if you were one, or sorry, a 2. Drop a 2 in the comments if you were one of those people that would go and check your numbers all the time. Because I was one of those people. I was always concerned and wondering about nobody does that. That's awesome. Good for you guys. I was one of those people, and I'm sure there's probably people that will do that. It's no good for you. I mean, Jason Kokenzie says it best. You're trying to lose weight. You're working out. You're doing all that good stuff. And every single day, 5 times a day, you step on that scale and you gain a few pounds. Well, what happens a lot of the time when we work out, we gain more muscle. And muscle weighs more than fat, right? But in our mind, we wanted to lose the weight, but we've gained the weight, and then we get frustrated. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. And Jason says it best. Throw the scale away. Throw it away and don't focus on it. Okay? Now, this was hard for me because to me, it was like, well, if the numbers aren't growing, then things aren't working out. That's not true. As long as you're doing the behaviors, which is presenting, doing the trainings, onboarding your distributors, committing yourself to it, it may not happen at the time you want it, but it will eventually happen. How many people have done a weight loss challenge or something like that? Drop a 3 in the comments if you've done a weight loss challenge. Okay. So, cool. So what I've noticed in weight loss challenges is that first month, there really isn't a whole lot change. Okay. And in that first month, a lot of people will quit because they didn't really feel like they got anywhere. Okay. I know when my husband did his, when we took pictures, there really wasn't a whole lot of difference between that first month from when we started to after his first month of doing it. And in our minds, we thought, well, this doesn't work, right? And that's why pictures are so important too. But by the 3rd month, you go back and you look at that picture from the 1st month to the 3rd month, And you usually will, if you've done your due diligence and didn't quit, you will see the results. Okay? As long as you focus on the behaviors and don't focus on the results until it comes to the time. Chloe. So, what are you guys in control of? Are you guys in control of signups? Like in your team, are you in control of what your team signs up? Post in the comments if you think yes or no. Are you in control of that? Cool. Are you in control of rank advancements? Are you in control of what your team, when your team rank advance? Am I in control of when Carrie rank advances? No. What about money? Am I in control about what everybody's gonna make? Am I in control of what I can make? Iffy, right? It's kind of a trick question. Are you in control of your distributors, your team? The answer to all of those are no, we're not. You guys did great. We're not in control of any of that. Well, what are we in control of? Drop in the comments what you guys think we are in control of. Misty says ourselves. Ourselves and our actions, our behaviors. Yep, perfect. What we do, our own actions and thoughts. Yeah, you guys are right. You guys are awesome. You're in control of you and only you. So if your volume isn't moving as fast as you want it to grow, it has nothing to do with your team, but everything to do with you. The speed of the leader is the speed of the team, okay? Your team also is going to look up to you. If you're not doing all the behaviors, so if I'm not doing my 15 presentations at least a month, how can I expect my team to do the same thing? If I'm not showing up on these calls, how can I expect my team to do the same thing? Okay? You can't. You can't expect them to do something you're not willing to do. This is your business, not theirs. It is yours. Below them is theirs, but anything below you is your business, whether they don't like you or not. It is your business and you are the one in control of it. Okay? All right. Next, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about onboarding. Okay? This, honestly, it gets put aside a lot and doesn't happen a lot. What you guys should do when you get a brand new distributor in, they need to be onboarded, which means they need to be shown what they need to do in order to be successful in this business. So I'm going to show you guys, I personally have a team page. I'm going to take you guys in there and show you our team page and what we do to help onboard our distributors. Some people will do a one-on-one call. I still like to do that when we have time and able to. I still love to get that one-on-one Zoom just to sit and talk to the person. But for that quick, here, you just got signed up, that person when you're outside doing something and that person that's like raring, biting at the bit, trying like, let's go. I set up this page, and in this page, I have units, and I have units where people can go in and I have videos made for them so they know exactly what to do, where to go. and it takes them step by step on what they need to do to get ready for their business. Of course, when they have questions, they ask. Now, some people do websites. I don't know the first thing about setting up a website, so I know a lot about Facebook, so I just did Facebook. I do have a little bit of a printout as well for those that aren't on Facebook. So there's different ways that you can do it. Some teams have books that they print out and hand out, like the Building Depth has their Building Depth book, right? So I'm just gonna take you guys into our page, and just 1 minute here. Just give me 2 seconds here. All right, I'm gonna take you guys into our page and show you what, you guys can all see that Facebook page? Perfect, okay. So this is what we call our team distributor group, okay? Now this is my team distributor group. Some of the team, my team underneath me even have their own, which is great. I think that when you're ready to step into that leadership mode of making your own, by all means, go right ahead and do it. My upline has different pages that they use. This is one that I used. My team's welcome to use it if they wish. So basically, what we do in this page is as soon as we enroll a brand new distributor, I have this little welcome video that I've done up. And in this video, it welcomes them, and it explains to them how to use the units in this Facebook group. Because a lot of people, you say, go to the units, and they're like, I don't know what units, what do you mean units? So this actually shows them exactly where to go, how to do it, and why we do it this way, okay? So I have that set up. Now what we do is we add our new distributor into this group. Then we tag them in our comments below to check out this video. This is a great place to start. I ask them to schedule a time, book a date and time to get on a call with your distributor, like to talk one-on-one, either with themselves or the upline, okay? Whichever you're comfortable at doing. I also make sure, and we're gonna talk about this a little bit later, I also make sure that they know about that pay setter bonus, okay? That promotion that the company has put out for us for them to make an extra $700 US cash in their first 30 days. That's super, super important. If a distributor can make money in their first 30 days, they're going to stick around, okay? So in this group, if we go into our units, you guys, I have it set up, working your business, okay? So you'll have things like setting up your hyper wallet in there, setting up your website, how to sign up that brand new customer. Okay, I have a little tutorial video that I've done showing them exactly how to do that, how to share a cart. We talked to them about how to get paid. A lot of people, I know people that literally leave $800 a month on the table because they're only purchasing 80 volume a month, and they're got Pro 3 volume under them, but because they aren't making their maximum or their minimum requirements, they're literally leaving $800 a month on the table. So it's so important that they know that. It's so important that they know that if I don't have the customers, personal customers, enough to make up that volume that I need, which is a minimum of 100 or 200 for the max pay, that it's up to me to make sure I get that. They need to know that, okay? If they were making an extra $800 a month, they'd probably take this business a little more seriously, right? And all it takes is an extra, one extra, 80, I don't know, like a bottle of fat burn or something. That's 30 PV to make, so that they can make $800. I mean, who wouldn't pay an extra $50 than what you're already paying to make $800 extra a month? I mean, that's just simple math, right? So make sure that they understand that some people have no idea, okay? And then it upsets them. And then it upsets them if they don't know. And then they ask you why they didn't get paid. And you're like, well, you don't have enough volume. And then they're mad. So make sure they know that right off the start. Super, super important. I have a little video. You guys are welcome to watch it. It's on YouTube. I have a little video about how to understand your holding tank. Understanding what the holding tank is, which is where all your new enrollments go, and kind of where to put them, okay? I have also a video about building that perfect tree. Now, I'm not saying that my way of building it's correct, but it's worked for me. Maybe you might want to check it out. Talk about following up, building on Facebook, signing up that brand new distributor. Then we have a unit on compliance training, okay? We have tools, a unit on tools, which is all those opportunity videos, the ABC Primetime, Dr. Dixon's videos, things like that. Easy access for them to find, right? We have a unit on our incentives, okay, our promotions. And we have a unit on building depth, okay? So just a few things or something so simple as that can really help your people launch quicker into their business, okay? All right, let's go back to the PowerPoint here. So we talked about how to get paid a little bit. Promotions, like I said, that pay setter promotion, you guys, super important that they understand that they have the information about that. I do my own team promotions as well. We have one going on right now. If you do all the behaviors, we're giving out a total of, the first place gets $100 cash, then all the way down to fifth gets $25 cash. Well, you know what, that's some nice extra cash in your pocket. And all it is doing the behaviors. The ones that are on this call right now get a point towards doing their behaviors, you know, little promotions like that. Website, setting up your subscription, like we talked about, is important for you to get paid. You gotta have your monthly order coming out every month. And I mean, the nice thing about our products is the fact that it's a monthly, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyways, you take it monthly. Is the nice thing about it, so people reorder every month, right? I mean, we've been taking our products now for almost 3 years every single month. So
subscription.
Thank you. Commitment sheet. Okay, I'll show you that. If you guys have seen the commitment sheet by Fry, this is kind of cool. I don't use it a lot, but it's kind of cool to check it out and have a look at it. You guys can see that okay? The commitment sheet. So basically, Fry likes to do this. He gets on a one-on-one call with his new distributors, and he talks to them. He asks them questions. He gets to know them a little bit. Like, have you done network marketing before? How many hours would you be willing to put into this? What are you most interested in? Are you interested in financial freedom, time freedom, health freedom? What's your main reason for getting involved? You know, a lot of the why. And he digs and digs and digs, and he finds their why, and he finds the reason why they're doing this. And then he says to them, if you get off track, what can I do to get you back on track? Can I call you? Can I remind you of your why? Do you want me to show up on your doorstep and kick you in the butt? What would you like me to do, right? So I like this. I really like how he puts everything together to really find out why the person is here, okay? Because we all are here for a reason. Either we want to make money, we want to be healthier, or we want our time back. So, okay. All right. Some of you guys know he's off by heart, I hope. Our behaviors. What are the behaviors? What do we got to do a month? We've talked about the 15 or more presentations a month, which is tell your story. I cannot stress more about that. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that too. Your story. Why you chose LifeVantage. Okay, what does this mean to you? your company story, ABC, how they got started, and then how to get paid. Okay? Attend all the events, treat as a priority, pre-register for them, get on the calls, LVAs, all that good stuff. Do what you can. Okay? I'm a barrel racer too. I have a child. She's in stuff. I get it. Sometimes, you know what? I can't be in a call because I'm watching a dance recital. You know, it happens. But do what you can do. I know once summer hits, a lot of the time what happens for me is there's a call on and I'm running barrels. But I always make a point that if it's recorded, I'm going to go watch it. Okay? Just do what you can do, but just make sure that you have a calendar with those calls written in it and you try to work around them as best as you can, because they are important. And some calls you might get on and you might be like, that was boring. That was what? You know, but then the next call, you might get something that will change your entire business. And you don't want to miss that. Okay. And you can take even watching those opportunity calls that Building Depth is doing every day for us. And other teams are doing calls too. Getting on every single one of them is important if you can, because even though you guys know the story, you know your company's story, you know how to get paid, but every single person presents differently and every single person says something differently that might relate to you a little better than the next. Okay? You might be able to take a little tidbit of whatever that person or this person or that person said and put it together into yours. And that's what makes us all so freaking unique, in the fact that not one of us has the same presentation. We're all our same people, but we've taken these little snippets. And I go like, oh, I like that piece. It's like a bouquet of flowers, right? I like that flower. I like that flower. I like that flower. And you put it all together and then you got yours, right? Always do what you say you're going to do, especially when you don't feel like it. This is awesome, you guys, because I'm going to tell you what, when I make a plan to do something, this comes into my mind every single time. Always do what you say you're going to do. Even when I decided at 10:30 last night that I was going to do this training today. Okay? I'm not a morning person, and I know 12 o'clock's not really morning, but sometimes it is for me. And I mean, I could say to myself, oh, I don't really want to get out of bed. I think I'm just going to go back to bed and I'm going to sleep. Right? Or plan a presentation at somewhere and then you don't show up. Right? Always do what you say you're going to do. And when you schedule something and you put something in your mind that you're going to do it, if you keep remembering that yellow, bold, always do what you say you're going to do, you will do it. Because it'll become second nature for you, that you don't ever not do it. Because the time that you don't do it is the time that you should have done it. The time that you don't show up is the time that you just had a red carpet that slipped through your hands. You know what I mean? Always, always, always do what you say you're going to do. Unless there's an emergency. Okay? Always stay in control of your business. Lead by example, which, like I said, if you want your team to do it, you need to be doing it. You cannot expect them to do what they're not, or you can't expect them to do what you're not willing to do. If you have people in your team that aren't doing it, take control, reach down, build depth, go to the people that want to work this business and you take control of it and you help them. Okay? That is how you stay in control of your business, because what did I say? This is your business. Okay? I've had people say to me, don't meddle in my downline. You know what? That's fine. But this is my business too. And if they want to work with me, they're going to work with me. I'm trying to grow a business here as well. I'm not going to tell them, no, I won't work with you because such and such doesn't want me to work with you. It's just not the way it is. I've had people in my upline that I thought I don't want them in my downline. But you know what? Yes, I do. I do want them in my downline. Because if my downline wants to work with them, that's great. That's great. That frees up time for me to work with others. Okay? We are all in this together. And we all resonate to different people. So we need to work together and stay in control. Promote, repeat until it's done. Keep doing these steps over and over and over. This is not a get rich overnight thing. Okay? They say commit for 2 to 5 years. Okay? There's people that have done this very quickly, and there's people that it's taken longer. Don't ever compare yourself to anybody else. Do not compare yourself to me. Do not compare yourself to Carrie or Tracy or Willis or Jessica. Don't compare yourself to anybody but yourself. Okay? We all have different things going on in our lives that play a huge role in all our outcomes. So if it's taking you 2 years to get to Pro 2, then it's taking you 2 years to get to Pro 2. Okay? That doesn't mean you give up. Commit yourself to at least 2 to 5 years. And honestly, for me, I would say longer. Commit yourself longer. There's people that have been in this business for over 10 years, and it's just amazing. So, all right. So, yeah, I like that, Carrie. If you compare yourself to someone else, you set yourself up for disappointment. Don't ever give up. Speaking from experience. I love that. It's true. If you compare, it would be like me. I don't know if you guys know barrel racing, but it would be like me comparing myself to Lisa Lockhart. Like, that girl's amazing. That woman's amazing, and Louis is out of this freaking world. Louis is her horse, by the way. I have goals to be as great as Lisa Lockhart, but I'm not going to run into the arena comparing myself to Lisa Lockhart, because it's exactly it. You might set yourself up for disappointment, or you might surprise yourself too. But all right, so getting started, you guys, we're going to go through this little list here. And I've watched a few people, leaders, train on how to make your list, how to invite, and they're all great. And there's the cold calling thing, there's all types of different ways, there's social media, there's contacting friends, all of it's great. And I like to touch on a little bit of it all. But what I'm going to talk to you guys about today is how I did it. Because I can teach you about what I've been taught about making a list and then doing the cold calling or whichever, but I didn't do it that way. So nothing's wrong. Cold calling works. Don't get me wrong. Once I learned that method, I have done it and it does work, but I have a different way that I like to do it. So when I say make a list, okay, Garrett, can you quiet Chloe down a little bit for me? Thank you. Or just shut her door or something. This is what happens when we're all on quarantine. So you guys, I make a list, and you guys have probably seen this list. Sherry Hollenbach, she talks about making this list. She's amazing. Yes, Sherry, I love her too. She's so awesome, and her energy is just, yeah. You cannot not be happy around that girl. She's awesome. But I still think you need to make a list, okay? Your friends list, your acquaintances list, and then your chicken list. Now, there's 2 ways you can go about this list, and that is, like Sherry says, you start calling these guys. You call your friends, you can call your acquaintances. Your chicken list are the people that you're scared shitless to call because they're They're just people that you're a little bit about calling because they're I don't know, the Prince of England or something, like, I don't know, but you know, they're important to people almost. I look, my chicken lists are full of the important people in my town that I feel like I'm like lower end of them, right? So that's kind of my chicken list. Now she talks about ways that you can invite them, and on our next call we're going to talk a little bit more in depth with that. But I make this list, and what I do, I don't call and invite them. I start building a relationship with them. Okay. And I actually, because I've already have quite a good friendship with my friends, obviously, unless I haven't talked to them for a while, my chicken list is what I start with. And I built on social media. So I add them as friends on social media, if I'm not already, and I start building relationships with them on Facebook. Okay. Just like commenting on their posts, reacting on their posts, and to the point where you will get comfortable with them and you will become more than that chicken list. You'll probably become a friend. Okay. And then what I do is I share my story, and I keep sharing my story, and I share other stories. And soon that chicken list person that I've now built a relationship with feels confident enough to say, hey, can you tell me a little bit more about that? Okay, I love that way of doing it. If I were to contact someone on my chicken list that doesn't really know much about me or whatever, and said, hey, would you take a minute to look at this? I have something I want to show you, or can I come over for coffee? They're gonna be like, no. Like, who are you? Right? Like, you know, so build relationship. Just reading comments too as I go. So if I pause for a minute. So I focus on building relationships with this list. Like I said, I don't necessarily cold call unless I know them very, very well. Okay, and that's going to take us into another way of inviting as well. So this is a list that you guys all make. Basically, for example, what Sherry does is she says, make some times, Monday to Tuesday, Wednesday, cross out the times that don't work for you so that when somebody's ready to meet with you, you have a time for them. But you want to know what's more important about this list, or what's also important about this list, is marking your calls in, marking times in for you to do presentations with your downline. It's just important to have a scheduler. I'm one of those people, some people put it in their phones. I'm one of the ones that have those really big, thick, fancy books. I like to write it down. I like to write. I just like that. I like things in front of me like this. So, you know, but I always have my days timed out every single day. If it's a day that I know I'm not doing anything, I just put out through the whole day. I'm not doing anything today, right? But it's important to have a schedule, to have your times figured out, so that if someone says to you, hey, Laura Lee, tell me a little bit about that. Do you want to come over for coffee and show me? Then I can be like, yeah, I can come at this time. Instead of, yeah, I can come at this time, and you're like, okay, great. And then, you know, a few hours go by and then you realize that you had dance recital at this time or whichever. So make sure you have it in there. All right, we got 10 more minutes. Now this was the one I was, when I say friends. And when I said, unless I know them very, very well, I'm not cold calling anybody, unless I know them very well. Now this one, if you guys know the amazing Rye Fry, you guys probably drop a 4 in the comments if you guys know who Rye Fry is. He is awesome. He does LV coaching every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Mountain. If you have a chance to get onto his calls, I highly, highly recommend it. Oh, so Rye Fry talks about this amazing way of building, and I like this. I think it's amazing. When you start off as a brand new distributor, I want you to think of 5 people. And Rye Fry, he explained this so amazing on the LVA we were watching. And he goes, I want you to think of 5 people that if they came into your house and you were in the shower, they'd be able to say, hey, buddy, I'm here. And you'd be able to say, oh, great, make yourself comfortable. And they'd know exactly where the beer was in your fridge. Okay? People find 5 people that are that close to you. Okay? Now, what he does is he says, now, I want you to list them the most influential from top to bottom. So you're going to put your most influential person at the top. So the one that kind of all of them look up to in some sort of way. All right? And then you're going to line them up from there, from most influential to lesser influential. You're going to call that person up that's most influential. Now, Rye Fry talks about how you can call with your upline. So, you know, for example, if I was your upline and Carrie were to call Ted, she would be like, hey, Ted, it's Carrie. I'm here with my good friend, Laura Lee, and we want to share something with you is incredible. Would you have time at this and this and this and time? Okay. And this is where your list can come in, your timesheet can come in handy, right? Because if they say, no, that time doesn't work, you're able to look at your schedule right away and say, how about this time? All right. Yep, that works for Laura Lee. That works for Carrie. Great. See you then. Or we'll talk then. Okay. Or you can do it on your own too. You don't necessarily have to do it with your upline, but if you feel more comfortable doing it with your upline, you're more than welcome to. Okay. Then you go to the next person in your list and you say to them, hey, Joe, I'm going to write this down so I don't forget. Ted, Joe. Joe's our second one. Hey, Joe, it's Carrie. Look, I'm here with my really good friend, Laura Lee. We just talked to Ted. Ted's in. Would you be interested in having a look at something with us that is like a great, something I'm just freaking out about right now? I really think you need to know about it. And he says, nah, I'm good. Okay, no problem. Thanks, Joe. Talk to you later. How are things with the wife? Blah, blah, blah. Great, blah. Okay, good. You know. So then we go to Bridget. Bridget's our number 3. And we call Bridget up. Hey, Bridget, it's Carrie, your good friend Carrie. I'm here with my good friend Laura Lee. Look, Ted's in. Well, who's Ted? Maybe she doesn't know Ted. Oh, well, he's an amazing friend of mine, and you talk a little bit about Ted, and then you talk maybe a little bit about Laura Lee and whichever. Look, Bridget, I need to show you this. I need to show you this. Will you get on this call with me at this and this time? Bridget says, yeah. So then we don't continue on the list then. We go back to Joe. And we say, Joe, look it. I know you know Bridget, and I know you know Ted. And Ted and Bridget are in. Do you want to do this with us? Come on, hop on the call. What do you got to lose? You can spare some time. I know you can. You're probably just drinking beer. I was kidding. But right? And a lot of the time what happens, and he might say no again, but a lot of the time what happens, you guys, is Joe doesn't want to get left out. Because when one person does something, somebody always follows. And if enough people follow, everybody follows. Even if they have no idea what's going on, they want to be a part of it and they follow. It's like a fad kind of thing, right? Like everybody just wants to be a part of it. If everybody's riding their horses with purple reins, then I'm going to ride my horse with purple reins. You know what I mean? Like it's just a thing that happens. So that is a really cool way. And that I like this way. I love this way. I highly recommend that. This is one of my first things I tell people is find 5 people that you know well enough that you would be totally comfortable with inviting them to look at an opportunity. Okay? Relationship building. You know, we talked about making that list, making that relationship. Like I said, I built a lot on social media. And it's all about, you know, reaching out to them. For example, there's a girl on my Facebook that's been going through a breakup with her boyfriend, and I can tell she's hurting. I just reached out to her and I said, hey, something was telling me that I just needed to reach out to you. Hope everything's doing well. Let me know if you need anything. And I left it at that. And, she replied, thank you so much. And now she's kind of been taking me in some of her stuff. We're starting to build a relationship. She knows that I care. Eventually I pray that she will see what I'm sharing. And if not, I will build that much of a relationship that I can maybe say, I was in a tough spot once too. I suffered with depression, anxiety. It was unbelievable. Like I was basket case, to be honest. And my husband's laughing again. But I can share with her like how this has changed me, how just being a part of something like this has given me hope in life, has given me faith in life, has, my depression, anxiety is almost non-existent. It's been great, and I can share that with them, and then maybe they might want to have a look at it. So I do find that this business, it's so much more than just the products, and they're amazing, but it's more than that. It's what you learn personally and how you grow and the friends you make, the family you make, right? So comment on their posts, call them, comfort them, make a friend, okay? And eventually it'll all come around. So do you do a lunch call with those people? So you can, Tracy, do a lunch call. I mean, it all depends on your friends and if they're close, or, lunch, coffee. Sometimes you can do Zoom. The biggest thing is just getting them in front of the opportunity in whichever way you possibly can, whatever way is best for you guys. So.
Are you doing it on a one-on-one with those three, or are you putting, because you went back to Joe and said the other two are in, so are you doing it like as the three? Sorry.
That depends on the person. Like if they know everybody, then I do it all together with them. If, and I usually say, would you want to just get on a one-on-one, or would you like for all of us to get on together? When you do kind of get on all together, especially if you're all friends, it's actually pretty good. It's nice. Like you can giggle and chat and talk about other things as well. And it just pulls that relationship between all three of you or all four of you stronger together as well. And then you're kind of all on the same page together as well. So, but it all depends on them. Ask them what they want. Okay. So lastly, you guys, we're running out of time here. Launching your business. I have, when someone says to me, how do I launch my business? And I always say to them, just be honest, tell your story. Now, I don't ever go out and say, post that you're working for LifeVantage and put your website on. Don't do that, you guys. That you don't want that, because you're just throwing all the information out, and which, we're not trying to hide anything, but what we are trying to do is we're trying to get somebody to say, what is it? Because then you can pull them into Messenger and you can start talking to them. And then what does that do when you're talking to them? It builds relationship, which is the most important part of building in this business. So get out there, tell your story. If you're a brand new distributor and you haven't even got your product yet, you know what? It's okay to launch your business before you've even got it. And you know what? You can be honest and say, I haven't even got my stuff yet, but what I've been reading and my friends have told me, this is unbelievable. And I am so excited to get my product. If you guys want any information on what I'm doing, give me a shout, right? I don't mention the company that I joined. I don't put a website out, nothing like that. And like I said, it's not because we're hiding. We're just trying to get them to say, what is it? Okay, so think about that when you're posting. What can I post that will make someone say, what is it? Okay, that's actually a pretty good thing to remember. What can I post that people will say, what is it? Okay. Help people fall in love with you, who you are, what you have, and be the person they want to be around. Basically, you hand them the key and then they can choose to open the door. Okay? Be the person that they look up to. And when on social media, that means staying away from negativity, staying away from political things, because my best friend may like the prime minister where the other person may not like the prime minister, or, you know, and that's their choice. That doesn't make them worse or badder or whatever of a person. That's their choice, and we need to respect their choices. So stay away from that kind of stuff. Just be positive, uplifting, especially in this time right now, you guys. People don't want to hear how long we're going to be in quarantine. People don't want to hear how everyone's dying. Like, we know it. We know that things are tough right now. Everybody knows it, and they don't need to be reminded every single day. Uplift them, be positive. If I share anything about what's going on right now, it's how we're crawling out of the hole we're in. I know in Saskatchewan, we're doing amazing over in Saskatchewan. We are darn near out of the hole. I'm so freaking proud of my province right now, how they've handled everything. And, you know, so I share about that. I share about how proud I am about that. And yeah, and just be there for everybody that you can be, and they'll respect you in the end. So anyways, you guys, we're out of time. I'm going to do the next training in a couple weeks, and the next training is going to be on inviting, and we'll probably do inviting and presenting depending how long we go into inviting. But I hope that everybody was able to learn something today. It is recorded. I will get it up online so that you guys can share it with your team. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know, and I'll help you as much as I can. So I'm going to stop recording.